I'm blessed, y'all. Oh, I'm blessed.
Right. Yes, we're blessed, and we are so blessed to be here today for this 5th edition of Plants Over Pills, number 5. Am I right?
Yes.
Wow. Absolutely, absolutely. And we're excited. And as others are coming in, we're going to go ahead and get started. But we know that this has been exciting. It's been so much information. I have learned so much from Karen. I'm so glad we partnered to do this exciting thing. But just to give an update and share just a little bit about who we are as far as Wakana, let me go and just open this up and get us started. All right.
I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah. I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah. Don't go nowhere without my CBD. If you know me, it's with me anyway. You seeing me, got it on me. It's my only way of freeing me, all on my only. By my side is never leaving me, I'm never lonely. It'll get you through them late nights, no sleep. Feeling anxious when you take flight. You so free, you can use it for them back pains, the swollen knees. That feel special got me right, man. Could go to sleep, ain't gotta worry about no laws, man. No police to try to tell you that it's all the same. They so sleep, but they can flower in the Hall of Fame. And quote me, cannabis is good for everything, nobody ODs. They light us up for this flower. Left us in the dark to get devoured. Left us in the grave with no flowers. Now it's our time, it's our hour. This storm coming, no showers. They screams louder, scream louder. Let's make room for this flower. We can all bloom with this flower. They light us up for this flower. Left us in the dark to get devoured. Left us in the grave with no flowers. Now it's our time, it's our hour. This storm coming, no showers. They screams louder, scream louder. Let's make room for this flower. We can all bloom with this flower. I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah. I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah. I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah. I've been wondering how to find you. I've been looking for you. Should come with me to Wakanda. So what you tryna do? I've been meaning to remind you. To remind you. See, I had so much on my mind, yeah.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Once again, we want to welcome those of you that are here. If you are a guest, we welcome you if you're here for the very first time for this series. And if someone invited you, we want you to put it down in the chat box. Let us know that you are the guest of a very special person. Give them a shout out and let us know who they are, because we are a movement. And we exist to help end this negative stigma. And there's a negative stigma going around every time you hear the word cannabis. Yep, I was one of those persons. When I first heard that word, I'm thinking, I'm not trying to get high. But guess what? I found out that there's so much more to the plant. But that negative stigma is causing our communities around the world to suffer and to lose out on the health and wealth benefits of the cannabis plant. So here's what we're here to do. We're here to stir up a movement. And that's what's happening all over the country. A movement to inspire people to confidently get into this legal space as entrepreneurs, formulators, and investors, and get the courage and strength to take back their health, their wealth, their legacy, and their freedom. We are Wakana. But before I introduce these four phenomenal ladies who are the co-founders of Wakana, let me stop just for a minute and let's kind of do a roll call and see who we have here and see if we have any guests. We want to acknowledge who you are especially, and just thank those of you that are here for being here on today. And I also want to stop and make sure I make my partner a co-host. So we'll be ready to move forward. All right. Welcome, 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 Robbie and Miss Tanya Jerry and Naina. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you guys here with us today. Well, let's jump right into this because these four phenomenal women are the co-founders of this company. This company that I'm talking about, Wakana, is the first female-owned, African-American-owned CBD cannabis company in the Midwest. And I'll take it a step further and say maybe in the whole world you won't find four female African-Americans in leadership. It starts off with our CMO. We call them our C-suite. Our CMO, CFO, CEO, and CSO. Our CMO is our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Rita J. McGuire. She is an OB-GYN, an obstetrician gynecologist for over 30 plus years. She's delivered over 8,000 babies. Oh my God. And listen, she's such an expert in the field of cannabis that she's such an expert that the governor of the state of Illinois asked her to testify in front of the Judiciary Committee when they were trying to make decisions about the taxation and legalization of the entire plant. Of course, they passed the laws in the state of Illinois and everything's legal there. Marijuana, the legal side, the medicinal side, the recreational side, as well as CBD. And she had a hand in making that happen. Secondly is Dr. Patricia Van Pelt. She's our interim CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and the president of Wakana. My goodness, this phenomenal lady, I often ask her, what is it that you're not doing? She's the reason my husband and I are here because we've known her for over 40 plus years. She's not only is she a state senator currently serving her third term, but she's an author. She's a philanthropist, she's an educator, and she's an evangelist. And she is, as I said, the president of our company. Thirdly is the visionary, Melissa Boston. She's our Chief Executive Officer. Yes, this woman was given that word, Wakana. It just dropped in her spirit one day as she was traveling. And she didn't even think about starting a company at that time. But she, because she's worked in corporate America for 15 years, left that, began to get involved in direct selling and social selling, never turned back, and been the MVP of several of those companies. She's a social media strategist. Oh my God, such a gifted visionary that we have. And then that last lady is Miss Phyllis Nash. She is our Chief Sales Officer. And this woman has only had a couple of jobs in her lifetime because she's been involved in direct selling and entrepreneurship, helped put restaurants on the map right there in the city of Chicago, Illinois. And she is a real estate developer. And we call her our midwife of Wakana because she helps to birth all of the possibilities on the inside of us. And these four phenomenal women together make up the founders, the co-founders of Wakana. Amazing. I mean, don't they even look good, right? Mm-hmm. See, the company's only started just a little while ago on 4/20 of 2019. And in 2 years, almost 2 years in July, right? It will be over $4 million. We're almost at $5 million in total sales. I mean, just almost 2 years old. I mean, can you just imagine that? That's amazing. And the reason we're able to do that was because of a farm bill that started in 2014, but was completely passed in 2018, legalizing hemp on the federal level. Instead of taking it in a place where it was categorized with heroin and LSD, it never should have been there in the first place. But now it is on the same plateau as any other crop, heavily regulated hemp. That makes it a legalized hemp as a mainstream crop. And that's why this industry is booming. That's why when you walk down the street, you see things popping up everywhere. CBD signs popping up everywhere. Why? Because it's gone from illegal to now essential. And the money that they're projecting, see, you've got to understand that this hemp plant, the reason we're talking about is projected to be over $20 billion by 2024 is because there are over 50,000 uses for hemp. Did you not know that the first flag was made of hemp? The first Bible was made of hemp? And probably the next house that you have built will be made of hempcrete. And that's why Wakana has positioned themselves to be involved in industries that are already billion and trillion dollars industries. That's why we know that we will become a billion-dollar company, because we've got products not only in the CBD industry alone, but also in the weight loss industry, which is a $288 billion industry. Also in the wellness industry, which is a $3.4 trillion industry. Also in the hair care industry, which is already an $87 billion industry. And the skincare industry, which is 190 billions, as well as the essential oils industry, which is a $20 billion industry. So Wakana is completely positioning itself. But what is this thing about CBD, right? You see it popping up everywhere. And I dare you to walk in somebody's store, a smoke shop or something, and ask them, what does it mean? They probably can't even tell you. But CBD stands for cannabidiol. Now, right there, many of you already know a little bit more than that person in the smoke shop who's trying to just sell a bottle of oil, maybe even more than the doctor who hasn't yet done their due diligence. But CBD stands for cannabidiol, and it's one of the many compounds that grows in industrial hemp, as well as in the cannabis plant. Now, it's only second to the one that you probably are more familiar with, called THC, which is delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. So that's the THC. That's the one we know about with the psychoactive properties when we think about getting high, right? But Wakana's products are fully compliant with the State Department of Agriculture, and we're grown in accordance with that farm bill that says we're growing from the hemp plant, and everything we sell is from the hemp side of the plant with 0.3% or less of THC. That makes it a full spectrum product. And we also have what we call broad spectrum products, or pure, for those that may have those random drug screens. But then there's a science. See, we're not just talking about a snake oil or a quick fix or something, or a miracle drug, nothing that. There's really a science behind this. And since my doctorate is in theology and divinity, let's talk to somebody or hear from somebody who is actually a medical doctor telling us about this science. Check this out.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Allen. I'm a retired cardiac surgeon and a member of the International Cannabinoid Research Society, ICRS. That means I'm a cannabinoid research scientist. And I'm here to tell you about the discovery of the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, and the significance and how it will change medicine. And we discovered the endocannabinoid system about 30 years ago, and we really didn't understand the significance of its discovery. And so we found out that this is a chemical communication that your body has. It's not electrical, it's chemical, and it's kind of like the hormone systems that people are familiar with. And your body makes these cannabinoids. They're endogenous, so they're endocannabinoids, and they perform some miraculous functions in the body. And we're just learning the significance of these functions. And basically, the endocannabinoid system is responsible for homeostasis. Most people don't understand what that really means, but it's the body's ability to maintain itself and function in the proper environment. And so it's critically important that that doctors in the future understand this control mechanism. And we're finding out that that manipulation of this endocannabinoid system will control diabetes. It controls cancer. It controls whether you can survive a heart attack or stroke. And so this is critically important for doctors to understand this new science. And the discovery of the endocannabinoid system is the single most important medical scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of sterile surgical technique. And I'm a heart surgeon saying that. So more people will be saved by manipulation of the endocannabinoid system than are currently saved by by surgery.
Wow. I mean, every time I hear that, I have to say, wow. The single most discovery, that's why we've got to learn and we've got to unlearn, guys. That's why most of us only know about THC. We've heard about it. We've heard about back in the day, maybe you did that, been there, done that, got high, smoking marijuana, the psychoactive effects. Yeah. See, here's what that does. It stimulates receptors in the brain's pleasure center. And it releases this chemical called dopamine. That's what gives you the high. But CBD is non-intoxicating. I don't care if you take the whole bottle, you're not getting high. You might end up going to sleep, but you're not fixing to be intoxicated. And it does stimulate receptors in the brain, but to regulate pain and perception and anxiety and nausea and, oh my goodness, the list goes on and on with all of the different studies that have shown the various medical applications. And then when you put the other cannabinoids, because there are really over 100 different cannabinoids in the cannabis plant, not just CBD, but things like CBG and CBC and CBN, as well as THC and THCV. And when you combine all of these, which is called full spectrum, synergistically, they start working together. And that's why we're seeing so many fantastic results with our products. Somebody sent me a bottle the other day and it said CBD isolate. That meant it only had CBD in it. Not that that's a bad thing, but you didn't get the benefits of the THCV. As you look at this chart, just when you look at that, just might help reduce pain. THC helps that, CBN, CBD, CBC, and CBG. Wouldn't that prove that you're going to get much better results when you have a product that has all of that synergistically working together? But as you can see down in the middle of the chart, CBD is the star of the game, right? When it comes to helping improve sleep and seizures and, oh my goodness, so many studies regarding it's an anti-insomnia, antibacteria, anti-inflammatory, because that's really the culprit. But it's all about this endocannabinoid system that's in your body and it's in my body. All of God's children have one, and you've got these receptors in your heart and your eyes and your lungs, every organ, in your liver, kidneys, and brain, and your bowels, even in your stomach and your skin and your teeth. And when you ingest CBD by oil or by a topical or in your food, it goes to those areas of the inflammation in any of those organs in your body, touches those receptors. All of a sudden, now your body begins to self-regulate and self-heal itself, like God ordained it to do. But how many of you just thinking about what I'm talking about, because there's so many peer reviews that can be studied for those that really dig down and do that studying, but how many of you know people that have pain that they have just accepted as their new norm? Or maybe because of the pandemic and all the stuff we've been going through even before the vaccine came, or just having anxiety problems, anxiety attacks. Or maybe there's just some inflammation going on in their body, some swelling or schizophrenia, or they're living with certain disorders. Even folks that have cancer and all of the results that they have to go through when they take chemotherapy. See, CBD can be used to help numerous medical issues and disorders. Now, our products are not used by or sale to persons under the age of 18. And our smokable products are not to be used or sold under those persons under the age of 21. And if you're pregnant or nursing, or if you're under doctor's care, listen, we always want you to get the advice of your doctor. Let your doctor know that you're getting ready to start a CBD regimen so that he can begin to monitor your numbers, because guess what? If your numbers start improving, we want him to know that so he can monitor the medication that you're currently taking. Our statements have not been evaluated by the FDA, and we never, ever intend to diagnose, to treat, to cure, or to prevent any disease. And we also, as I said earlier, have products for those who have those random drug tests. We have products that are less than 0.0% of CBD. I mean, our product line is vast. Oh my goodness. I've been here since the company started, my husband and I, and we've seen our product grow from things to help in the bedroom, to the gummies, to things to cook with, to the power oils, what we call a tincture you put under your tongue, to a whole hair care system, face creams, coffees. Oh my goodness. Our product line has just grown so that we can touch each of these industries, and it's making a difference in people's lives. We do our very best to deliver the highest quality CBD infused products, not just spraying some CBD on a gummy just to say it's got CBD, but to actually infuse that product with the CBD. And then the hair, oh my goodness, our hemp-powered hair products, our beard and scalp oil is designed to help your hair grow. You might be dealing with alopecia or even stress. Come on now, stress will cause you to start losing your hair. Or you know how we do, ladies, we go to the beauty shop and get those tight braids, and all of a sudden it starts pulling hair from the edges. Well, our hemp-powered hair is designed to help your hair grow longer, stronger, and healthier. And we have an SOS hair care system. Save our strands. And yes, the beauticians, the cosmetologists are raving, even the barbers are raving about this 5-step hair care system that has renewing shampoo, moisturizing conditioner, a leave-in detangler, a styling cream, and an oud body oil, giving it that shine. You gotta check this out. And then cooking. Can't get away from that. Listen, might as well eat healthy and also have some CBD getting into your entire family's body. That's why this is one of the fastest growing segments of the cannabis industry. And I can't talk enough about our gummies. We got gummies for everything, y'all. We got gummies for sex, gummies for creativity, gummies for stress, and gummies for sleep. And we have so many testimonies. One lady told me once, she said, I slept so good, my bones went to sleep. And then that one with the exclamation point on the top, let me tell you, that's our newest product, Delta 8. So many people are talking about how it calms them, how it gives them that extra dealing with anxiety and just the calmness. Oh my goodness. And then even opens up that area for creativity. But you definitely want to take this one because it's pretty powerful, just like the directions tell you to take it. 1/4 of the gummy. It's pretty strong. And then our sexual area, sexual wellness, yes, infused with CBD with pure ingredients formulated to create an enhanced experience. You know, we often need a little assistance. Don't be embarrassed. Just a little assistance right there in the bedroom to enhance that experience. And vapes and pre-rolls, oh my goodness. I love the vapes and pre-rolls because they help me with my menopause. And then guess what? They work so quickly because when you vape or when you use a pre-roll, 1 to 3 minutes, action is taking place. All of that depression is off of you. That anxiety is off of you. Maybe that acute pain that you're having is off of you. That little feeling that you get just when you're menopausal, you know the sweats are coming, or different reactions that you're receiving as a result of that. It increases the bioavailability because it goes straight into the bloodstream. And then we have a sister brand called Royal Defense. These are products to help on the front line. And really, we're all on the front line because when we leave out the house, you're dealing with the virus that's still lurking, right? So it's good to know that you've got really good sanitary products, hand sanitizers that doesn't have alcohol. You got surface cleaner and produce wash. My goodness, so many hands on your produce before you get it. Even essential oils, all kinds of things to help you with your immune system, which is really what's under attack. And then our essential oil product line. That's why we're here today, because every week we've been talking about different essential oils, USD grade, that are so phenomenal, and our education level has gone through the roof because of this beautiful lady who is Miss Karen Williams. She's a former top computer industry executive. She's a career consultant to Fortune 50 companies and a servant leader board member. That's all the things she's done in her past. But now her passion is connecting with people, helping them transform their lives through the use of essential oils and other natural healing modalities. She is a certified herbalist, an essential oil educator, enthusiast for the last 17 years. Y'all see why I want to hook up with her, right? She's an aroma freedom practitioner, and now she is a certified CBD entrepreneur, and her focus is wellness, purpose, and abundance for herself and others. And she resides in the beautiful Reno, Tahoe, Nevada area. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and bring her to the stage and let her just feed us with some more information. Karen, are you there?
I am here, Dr. Ross. Thank you so much. That's such a great intro of my bio. I'm going to hire you for all my presentations. So let me share my screen. Let's see. I need to find my share. Here we go. Share screen button. And we can get started and get going with today's presentation. It's one major oil, and it's called tea tree oil. Let's see if I can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, put on the slideshow here. Here we go, and we're off. So today, these are our 6 essential oils that we have today at Wakana. So we have a nice start to our growing line of essential oils. And I start with the same slides a lot of times because I never know who's new. So I always want to tell people what essential oils are, and that they are aromatic extracts that are distilled or expressed from a variety of plant material. That plant material can be leaves, flowers, grasses, roots, or seeds. So there's different parts of plants that give us these great oils. How we use the essential oils primarily is for our skin. You can use it directly on your skin as a scent. You can take essential oils through your nose by just smelling it. You can clean with essential oils. You can diffuse with essential oils throughout your home. You can take some essential oils internally using a capsule. And you can also take, like lemon oil, you can put it in your tea and what have you in order to enhance that tea experience. The science of essential oils, or smelling anything really, it goes through our olfactory system. So by taking in a scent, whether it's through your hands or through a bottle, you basically are going through your nasal cavity through what is called the olfactory bulb, and that bulb connects you to your brain, which is the limbic system in the brain. Once that scent hits that limbic system in your brain, you can either feel relaxing or stimulating or sedative in terms of different neurochemicals. Those chemicals have different reactions to your brain in that limbic system. I always like to talk about essential oil safety precautions because we want to be safe when using our essential oils. Do not put these on any open wound. Keep away from your eyes and wash your hands after use. Always do a patch test. We all have different sensitivity to our skin, whether you've been out in the sun, whether you've used certain oils you may be sensitive to and others you won't be. So I always do a little test. I always say just use your upper arm aspect and put some carrier oil like coconut or almond or jojoba and put a little drop of oil and just watch your skin and see if you have any reaction. Prayerfully you don't, but if you do, it's a small spot and you'll be able to tell whether you're sensitive or not. Always read warnings if you're pregnant, nursing, have serious medical conditions, or on medications. I am not a medical doctor, so I always tell people if you're using medication or nursing, be sure to talk to your doctor and see if he or she recommends you use essential oils depending on for whatever particular use. 2 to 3 hour space between medications helps your system take in as much benefit from essential oils as possible. If you're diffusing, you don't need to diffuse all day. You can diffuse up to 20, 30 minutes at a time. And that not only will scent the room or space you're using, it'll give you the benefits of those oils in the air to help you in whatever your endeavor is, to freshen the air, to focus on what you're working on, what have you. And the one thing that we always like to say, Dr. Rita has taught me and others, that more is not better. These are concentrated aromatic scents. So you don't need a lot to get a lot from them. So today's discussion is about tea tree oil, or known as, if you will, the species name Melaleuca altifolia. Say that 10 times fast. Some of the benefits of Melaleuca include insect repellent. So if you're going out and you know, depending on where you live or what time of year, you can spray tea tree oil, and that will keep the insects away. Antiseptic for minor cuts and scrapes, and minor, not open wounds. Remember, that was one of our precautions. And it's all-purpose sanitizer and skincare health, and has a broad range of use, tea tree oil. It features an anti-inflammatory quality, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, antiseptic, fungicide, and stimulant. That's a powerful essential oil. Melaleuca altifolia supports healthy skin, which we're all looking to have, and it's commonly referred to as tea tree essential oil. So they're one and the same. It's just a species name. The scientific name is Melaleuca altifolia. So because of the benefits of the tea tree oil, so recognized, it's no doubt one of the most popular essential oils, on the planet. It's found throughout the world, and we'll talk about some of those locations. It's found in most skincare products, and it also helps beautify the appearance of our skin. So here's some questions I like to share and ask. Did you know that the species of Melaleuca grows all over the world? So you can find Melaleuca everywhere practically. There'll be slight differences based on climate, based on soil, based on just the position on the planet. So a lot of times we think of Melaleuca as grown in Australia. That's probably one of the more popular places people know of it being grown in. Another aspect is Central America, Guatemala, France, Chile, and Florida. And the reason we bring all these places up is for you to know there are different variations of Melaleuca. It loves swampy areas like the Florida Everglades. So because there's so many different species of Melaleuca, and a lot of companies don't label their bottles with the genus species, so there can be confusion surrounding Melaleuca. So it's important to get what we call an unadulterated, which is basically a pure, nothing added, if you will. Because most, not just Melaleuca, but most essential oils have become adulterated, which means chemicals are being added to essential oils. So it's important to know that what species of Melaleuca you're working with, and that it's just Melaleuca, if you will. And I mentioned other oils in this slide, like lavender, frankincense, and eucalyptus. They are some of the most popular oils on the planet, just like Melaleuca, and they have become adulterated in a lot of ways. So, and I will tell you a brief story that the first time I smelled real lavender, I didn't even recognize it because I was so used to the adulterated versions that you find in different stores, which I will not name. In terms of the genus species, once again, there's over 200 species of Melaleuca, and some species also have chemotypes. And so this is definitely a part of the plant you need to know a little information about. And basically, I wrote a definition of, a chemotype, a CT, is a designation that tells you that the species has different chemical constituents. This usually occurs because the plant is grown in different areas under a distinct climate that alters the chemistry. So there, like I mentioned, there's over 200 species alone of Melaleuca. Some of the most popular species are these four. Melaleuca altifolia is the most commonly known. It's also known as snake oil or tea tree oil, and I'll get into some of the history of that. And Melaleuca cinerea, my Spanish is not very good, It's also known as Nioli essential oil. Um, Melaleuca erifolia is also known as lavender tea tree oil, and Melaleuca leucadendron is commonly known as cahupta oil. I'm not even going to say that twice. This is a constituent that makes it really similar to eucalyptus, and there are different versions of eucalyptus as well, radiata, polybractea, and globius. So where did the name Melaleuca come from? It's a Greek word meaning black, and the word leukos meaning white. So the leaves are white and black, and the leaves are black, the bark is white. So which part of the plant is used? The leaves are the part of the plant that are actually cold pressed and the oils come from. The most interesting historical fact is that, did you know that the name of tea tree oil was given by Captain James Cook? Captain Cook, shortly after arriving in Botany Bay, Australia in the 1700s, said that the leaves made a lovely spicy tea. The tea was used by the European settlers from that day forward. So this oil has been around for centuries, and it has a lot of medicinal values. The plant properties are soothing to the skin and cleansing. And one person that, I'll talk about testimony on the next slide, but that the documented tea tree oil benefits and uses supports healthy immunity, which we're all after, and healthy skin. So what are some of the aromatic effects on the mind? Melaleuca essential oil is refreshing and cleansing. It has a really strong, and I say really strong, herbaceous aroma. So it's real herbally, earthy, herbally. What are the spiritual influences? It eases mental stress and purifies the mind, the body of emotional wounds. So once old wounds are released, the body can then change the behavior patterns that led to the woundings to begin with. And I work with a practice called Aroma Freedom, and we work to first dig up or unveil emotional patterns, and then to look at them and release them. And it's a powerful technique, and it just shows the power, once again, of essential oils. If you have a tendency or know of anyone that has challenges with the essence of feeling like a victim or a poor me type of feeling, the emotional roots are often associated with distrust of self or others, with guilt or shame, and they can be released with the use of the external smelling of tea tree oil. So it is an emotional releaser. What chakras are affected? Basically, it affects all the chakras, but it clears them out so you can basically connect with your crown chakra, the top chakra. And the corresponding chakra colors are yellow, which is our solar plexus, and blue, which is our throat area. So how do you use tea tree oil? Well, we say you should dilute it 50-50 because it is a strong essential oil. You can apply 2 to 4 drops on a location or a chakra point. You can inhale it, you can diffuse it like all the other oils. Children under 6 should not use Melaleuca as a dietary supplement, but children older than 6 can manage this very powerful essential oil, but use a little bit at a time. Contact sensitivity may develop with repeated use, so we ask again to contact a healthcare practitioner prior to use if you're pregnant, nursing, taking meds, or have a medical condition. More trivia. Did you know the term snake oil because Australian Aborigines traditionally used it as a snake remedy? That's kind of one of the origins of that term, snake oil. So you can see how then when the United States was settled, snake oil became in popular demand. Unfortunately, many of the salesmen were selling tea tree that did not work, and they were named snake oil salesmen. So there was a kind of a play on words, if you will. So sorry to say, but this is still a great deal of this going on still today. So that's why it's important to know your sources of essential oils and which genius you want to really work with. And one testimonial I had from a Melaleuca user is that they use it to clean and purify their workspace. So some people smudge. Some of you have heard of smudging, where basically you're burning sage and that sage is clearing the air. Well, you can diffuse a few drops of Melaleuca in your diffuser with some water, and that will clear your space as well as purify your workspace to get rid of any negative emotions or thoughts. So Wakana, in our repertoire of essential oils, we have tea tree oil now. And the tea tree oil comes in 15 milliliters, 100% organic. It's for topical application, but we always encourage you to use a carrier oil, such as MCT, which is coconut oil, or any organic almond oil, and there's other carrier oils as well. To understand how to measure the correct ratio for desired application, we kind of try to give you a gauge. If you use 1 teaspoon of a carrier oil, let's say it's almond, that's approximately 100 drops of oil. That's a lot. So this makes creating your desired ratios very easy. So you only need a little carrier oil on your arm or wherever you want to use it, and just put 1 drop of tea tree oil and see how it feels, how it smells, how your skin responds to that. And in our Wakana product line, the products that has tea tree oil in it is our Dr. Rita's Rub, basically, our Power Liquid Release. It comes in different sizes from 200 milligrams to the roller ball. So keep that in mind. That is our one oil that uses this special essential oil. And let's see. So we're wrapping up this presentation today, quick and easy, fast, with one of my favorite quotes, like I always use, always do your best. What you plant now will harvest later. And my contact information is the same each week on this slide. And I want to thank you, Dr. Roz, and back to you.
Awesome as always. Oh my God. Okay, so now if I want to take the tea tree oil and mix it so that I've got a bottle of my own insect repellent. I love it because every week you give me another reason to not have to buy Raid.
Saving you money, yes.
Okay.
So non-toxic chemicals.
I got the peppermint spray. I can spray the flies. I can have a picnic and not have to deal with all the insects. I hate insects. You should know that by now, right? I know that they're for the ecology. I understand, but they can go somewhere else. I'm just saying. Yes. So now I understand tea tree oil has, oh my goodness, when you said that, I went, really?
Yes, you can, depending on, some people their garages are problems when it comes to insects, right? Depending, the most outdoor aspect of the house a lot of times. So people will drop a drop of tea tree or a drop of peppermint, at doorways or at openings to keep their insects out. It's just things we've been doing probably without a lot of transfer of knowledge from our grandparents to our parents, that we've forgotten some of this folklore, if you will, but they had home remedies, and this falls into that category. And when you talk about a tea tree oil from an insect repellent, you want to, we always talk about oil and water not mixing, but you can put oil and water together And I would say a few drops of a carrier oil to shake it all together, and then to spray it on your clothes, nothing in your eyes, of course,
Right, right.
nothing like that, but that will help the insects say, okay, we don't want any part of that. So
Don't touch this. Don't touch this. Absolutely.
So I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing, well, I'm going to let you finish, Dr. Roz. Let me let you
No,
finish.
that was it. I mean, I see my mental stance in the question.
Okay. All right.
Where all is best for spiders, the tea tree or the peppermint? Which
well, let's see. Spiders. There's different types of spiders. I would start with the peppermint. Peppermint, the scent of peppermint. For those who grow their own foods and herbs, you can notice peppermint repels all types of bugs and insects. So I would start, I've never seen a spider grow or come out of a peppermint plant. So I would start with peppermint, Mama Mitchell, and if it's not strong enough, the tea tree will definitely get it. So,
peppermint paralyzes flies.
yeah. Yes, I know you were in awe of that.
I had it in a diffuser, and the spray was going up, and the fly flew through the spray of the diffuser and landed on a piece of paper, and I saw him, and he wasn't moving.
Yeah, he got zapped.
His wings. It was crazy. I was blown away. I called Karen. I said, "Does peppermint do this?" I mean, it wasn't peppermint. It was the essential defense.
Yeah, well,
which has peppermint in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had all of that stuff in it. So I'm like, "Ooh, I'm excited."
Well, you live in the South, so it's more tropical. So there's much more insects around from my memory of living in Houston. So yeah, diffusing will help them stay at bay. They'll know. Don't go to Roz's house.
Absolutely. But thank you so much. Do we have anything else in the chat? I think that was the only one. Yeah. Everybody's saying awesome presentation, phenomenal presentation. Yes, yes, yes. So we've got one more. And listen, if you've got any more questions, today we've got to cut it short because I got to use this platform for a birthday party. But definitely reach out to Karen. Mm-hmm. If you're a guest here, please reach out to the person who invited you, because they have a website that has all of these oils and every other product that we have that's available that will be so beneficial to you. And definitely you want to thank them, right, for inviting you here. Now, next week,
we'll do a recap of all the other essential oils all together and questions. So you have a whole nother week to kind of come up with all your essential oil questions on top of just kind of revisiting the other 5 oils, because I know it's been a long series.
Sounds great. Sounds great. All right. So again, thank guys for being here. Everybody, let me hit the record button and cut it off.
Yes, I appreciate